Sound Vault.
Hello, my lovely children everywhere. This is Hetty from Tale Waves, bringing you another thrilling story. We were going to hear the story of Floria, which you will now be hearing in 2 weeks' time. Instead, Gilly has kindly given me another enchanting tale for you about 2 teddy bears and an owl called Opticus, and I will have the pleasure of reading it for you. The story is set in Tinglebourne Valley, where only animals are allowed to live, and it is based on an actual village just outside Farnham. Perhaps you can guess where this magical place is. So sit back, relax, perhaps with your teddy bear. I have Captain Weed and Frankie here with me today. And they are the 2 bears in the story. This is the tale of Opticus Owl raises the mighty Vesselonius. One night, as Frankie lay sleeping in the Uggle Guggle, he was woken by the haunting sound of a hoot. Twoo, Frankie, twoo! Come, come, I have news for you that will lift your spirits, or perhaps set you a difficult task. It was Opticus Owl, perched upon Frankie's window ledge. "Hi," said Frankie, rubbing the sleep from his eyes. "Oh, it's you, Opticus. It must be important for you to wake me at this hour." Opticus pushed his glasses back onto his nose. He was such a wise and handsome owl. "You know I journey over the valley at night to keep watch over you all. Well, I thought I might take a look at Uggle Guggle by Dampney Marshes. I knew Snazzerjack and his wicked Sleezels would be busy tonight, because they have found the remains of the captain's ship, the mighty Vesselonius." "My goodness!" cried Frankie. "I must wake the captain." And before Opticus could say twit-twoo, he disappeared down the jelly chute to the next floor. As Opticus pondered over the beauty of the valley, under the silver clouds, he heard a great excitement from down below. "Oh, my beauty! She is near! She is here!" rejoiced the voice of Captain Weed. "Hush, dear friend, hush! The Sleezels have ears everywhere, and so do the oak trees," said Frankie. Then their voices fell silent. Opticus was almost falling to sleep when he heard a voice from behind. He was so startled and frightened that he fell off the window ledge into Frankie's room, flying, flitting, twooing and twitting as never before. Suddenly, the faces of Captain Weed and Frankie appeared at the window, looking very excited. "Sorry, Opticus, old friend. Calm down. The jelly shoots go down, and the only way up is on the outside. Keeps one fit, you know," said Frankie. The 2 friends climbed into the room, and Opticus flew onto Captain Weed's shoulder. They sat down at the ancient table of folklore, and Opticus started to tell them what he had seen. "Wait, shh," said Frankie. "The oak trees are silent. We must whisper." "Well," said Opticus, "they have been very busy. It's amazing. The Sleezels have virtually rebuilt the Vesselonius. They are out in full force. You realize that if they succeed, they will use it to sail along wandering waters Then come upstream and attack us tomorrow evening as we lie sleeping. We have no time to lose. They will return to their slime holes 1 hour before daybreak, for they dare not risk any change of temperature upon their skin."
It's going to be too difficult, just the 3 of us, and we can't endanger the lives of the village animals," warned the captain.
"I'm not afraid," said Frankie, "but it does need a lot of thought. Let's get out the valley scroll." He made his way to an old willow chest. "No need for that," tooted Opticus, and he folded his wings in a very serious and decisive way.
"What do you mean, dear chap?" asked the captain.
Frankie returned to his seat. "Listen closely and quietly. I am going to fly to the highest tree in Flickering Forest, with you upon my back. You must dress in black, and we must venture forth when the wind causes the oak tree branches to rustle, so they will not hear us depart." Opticus looked very serious. "This is a dangerous task, but you will see what comes to pass." Frankie and Captain Weed took some old clothing from under the bed and an ancient magical length of rope entwined from ivy binding. This rope could grow to any size, large or small, by saying, "Italy pop, grow on up, Italy pound, shrivel down." After they had changed, they climbed upon the back of Opticus and waited for the wind to change. Time ticked on by a full 20 minutes. Opticus closed his eyes and chanted, "Wind of the heavens, wind of the seas, blow forth your breath and let us fly free." The heavens let out the loudest roar, and the wind swirled excitedly with great energy. "Hold tight, my brave ones, hold tight. Here we go," warned Opticus. His wings spread, magnificent and strong, as he charged towards the window. The wind carried them higher and higher. It was thrilling. An unbelievable feeling of excitement ran through their veins, but they could not speak for fear of being heard by the Sleezels. Far below, they could see the evil Sleezels about their work. But soon they would all slinzel away. Higher and higher the 3 adventurers flew until they came to land upon the tallest wood pine in the vast and beautiful Flickering Forest. Here they would not be seen or heard. "I must leave you here for a few minutes," said Opticus. He set them down gently and flew high up into the heavens and out of sight.
"Where do you think he's gone?" asked the captain.
"I hope he's coming back. It's rather high up here and a little wobbly." "Oh, he'll be back, Oceanus. He is the most wise and honourable owl I know. Wait and watch." Frankie put his paw to his lips. What happened next took their breath away, for out of the clouds, twisting, floating, and soaring upon the whirling winds, with wings that almost span the width of the forest, came a huge silver albatross, a holy creature
worshipped by all of the animal kingdom. He smiled at them both, and in his eyes they could see the story of the world from the beginning of time. Clinging to his back was Opticus, and he beckoned to the captain and Frankie to jump onto the wing of the albatross as he hovered below the tree branches. Frankie jumped first and landed safely, reaching upwards for his friend's paw. "Oh, oh, oh!" cried the captain as he fell onto the next branch. "Swing along it!" cried Frankie. But before he could finish speaking, the great bird had grasped the captain in his beak, turning and placing him carefully upon the other wing. "Meet Aliberti Albatross, my flying teacher, and the oldest albatross in the world. And he's Italian, so I hope you don't mind him singing." Opticus patted his flying teacher with great reverence. Aliberti cleared his throat. Well, I can't at the moment. We have to be quiet now." Aliberti introduced himself. "Now hold tight, and I will tell you our plan as we fly." The captain thought he was so funny. The wind was cool, and Frankie started to shiver. Opticus called him over to lie under his wing for warmth. He called the captain over too, and laid his other wing upon him. "I'll tell them, Bertie. They'll understand me better. In half an hour the Sleezels will have returned to their slime holes and will soon fall asleep. There will be only 2 Sleezels on guard, I think. If they are dozing, I propose to drop a black thread down from a tree where Aliberti will have placed me, and then I will pour some gelsinol, the juice of the pandom tree, down the thread into their mouths or nostrils. This is a sleeping potion. Then I or we can climb down and tie the ancient ivy binding around the ship. Aliberti will then bring down his magnificent claws, and with luck on our side and the magic of the ancient animal gods, we will lift it into the sky and hide it under the mystical waterfall in flickering forests. There are no oak trees there, only woodpine. This is a dangerous mission. If it fails, we are doomed to a life of slavery in Dampney marshes, and Snazzerjack will have no mercy. Twoo!" Opticus sighed and buttoned his jacket. "Where with you, Opticus?" cried Frankie. "Let's go," said the captain. "I want my beauty back." So, silently, the albatross and its passengers flew gently towards Hovel Grovel. There, all was still. The Vesselonius lay like a beautiful lady, waiting to be saved. The gods were on their side. The 2 Sleezel guards lay dozing, for they knew no one would dare venture there. Aliberti carefully flew downwards, and Opticus slid off his wing onto the tree nearest to the guards. He lowered the thin thread after taking the lid off the gelsinol juice flagon and dripped the fluid slowly into their nostrils, for their mouths were closed, and they sank into a deeper sleep. Aliberti flew down silently. Then, after making sure that Captain Weed and Frankie were safely on the ground, he folded his wings until it was time to take off. The two heroes carefully and quietly ran to find Opticus, who had flown down from the tree. They crept towards the Vesselonius, and the three of them worked carefully, hooking and knotting the binding evenly around the ship. Then Opticus gathered all of the ropes in his beak and centered them to the middle of the ship. The captain and Frankie tied them all together in a loop, and Opticus beckoned to Aliberti to spread his wings, and hovering above the Vesselonius, the great bird sank his mighty claws into the rope, grasping it firmly, and with unbelievable strength he lifted the ship with Opticus, Frankie, and the captain on board. She groaned and moaned. Water poured out of her bow. "Come, my beauty, come to your captain," roared Oceanus. Aliberti hovered, lifting her a little higher each time. Oh, how she groaned! But so did Snazzerjack, who had been woken by the noise. He dared not venture out, for dawn was breaking. "You stupid, blithering fools!" he shouted at the guards, who were still snoring away. "You wait! I'll teach you!" His slizzling tongue slashed about furiously. Aliberti took one last heave, spreading out his wings fully. What an amazing sight it was! They flew higher and higher, waving madly. The raising of the mighty Vesselonius was complete. "We did it!" cried Opticus. "Oh, we did it!" "Oh, Oceanus, I can't believe it!" shouted Frankie joyously. "But of course," cried the captain. "She's a very special lady, is my ship, and so are you, my wonderful, wonderful friends." Oh, you are!" He laughed so much he almost fell off the ship. And away they flew to the flickering forest waterfall, with Aliberti singing opera at the top of his voice. "Bravo, Opticus!" said Frankie. "Bravo, all of us!" cried Opticus. Oh, what a happy ending, wasn't it, children? Captain Weed will be able to sail his mighty Vesselonius again, but he'll have to take care that the Sleezels and Snazzerjack don't see him. Apparently, the captain's boat was smashed upon the rocks in the Wandering Waters 2 months ago, and Frankie had saved his life with his fishing rod. What a hero! But what a slimy creature Snazzerjack is. Ugh. Anyway, back to nice things. Keep cuddling your gorgeous teddy bears. Keep listening, as Floria is our next story, and after that, Bridges. I wish you great happiness, and as I always say, my precious ones, be good.
soundful.